All right, everybody, gfunkyboxing. Cutting this video from my car. Got a lot of shit going on, so this is the only time I could do it. But look, I'm going to talk about the lightweight division real quick and these guys, these lightweight fights that we had in the past 2 weeks. But I'm giving you guys a warning right now, okay? If you're a fanboy and you're easily offended by an opinion that's not the same as yours, then you need to just stop the video right now. All right? I'm sorry, you're just not going to like what I have to say about these guys. So, anyway, look, I already covered the fight with Kambosos and Lopez. We covered that Monday. But I want to give some shout outs real quick to D-Style, because he made a video Saturday where he's talking about how it's not normal to co-sign excuses just because the guy you picked or the guy you like got an official loss, and then you want to ride with excuses that they make. That's not normal, man. And we're not going to do that here. Okay, we're going to give it to you raw and uncut and real. That's what we're going to do. Okay, we're not co-signing any of these excuses that's coming from the Lopez team. None. He lost, period. Okay? And I want to say to Lopez Sr., when I seen him talking about comparing himself to his son to Mayweather and all that type of stuff, man, you're worried about the wrong thing, dude. You're worried about the wrong shit. Like, who cares if your son doesn't finish his career undefeated like Floyd? So what? That doesn't mean that you still can't have a great legacy and a great career, all right? And he's not TBE. I don't believe that. A lot of good content creators here on YouTube don't believe that Floyd's the best ever. That's a self-proclaimed title, okay? A lot of fighters have losses that are still considered to be greater than Floyd, all right? Manny Pacquiao, a lot of people think Pacquiao has a better legacy, and he's lost multiple times, been knocked out multiple times. So you're worried about the wrong thing, man. What you need to be worried about is fixing the problems that you and your son had in that corner during that fight and coming back strong. And you need to just accept the loss, man, or you're not going to be able to move forward. That's just the way life is, man. If you don't accept that shit, it's going to haunt you forever. Accept it, move on, and come back. Period. That's what you got to do. So now let's talk about Haney and Jojo Diaz, all right? Look, a lot of the content creators out there, they have this predetermined notion about guys like Haney and guys like Diaz when they see a matchup like this. And they automatically think that the guy who's the boxer, who's more athletic, is just going to win based off of that. And that's just not the case. We even saw that with Isaac Cruz and Tank, okay? Those things, they don't just automatically win you a fight, okay? I was hearing guys saying, Haney's going to beat the shit out of Diaz. He's going to fuck him up. It's not even going to be close, you know? That was not the case. That fight was close. Could have went either way. And I scored the fight for Diaz. There was a lot of rounds that you could give to either guy. But I felt like Diaz won the fight. But I'm not going to call it a robbery or anything like that. But that's just the way that I saw it. I felt like Haney did do some good work in there. He did box well in spots. Jojo Diaz was able to cut that distance, land a lot of good body shots, even clean counter shots upstairs in spots. It was one of those fights, man. One of those fights where both guys would have moments in the same round, and it's like, who do you give the round to, you know? And I just felt like Diaz, his work was just much cleaner to me. The punches were landing much cleaner to me than Haney. Haney did have more volume, but that doesn't win you fights. Volume punching doesn't win you fights unless it's landing. And it's got to land clean. And if Diaz is blocking these punches with his gloves, then guess what? He gets credit for that because that's a part of scoring. Defense is a part of scoring, guys. Okay? So Haney doesn't get credit for that. Like, I'm sorry, what Sergio Mora tried to say during the fight that Haney's piling up points by hitting Diaz's gloves. Like, what the fuck are you even talking about, Mora? That's not how you score. You're an ex-fighter. You're up there just stroking off the Haney fans is all you're doing. You're trying to paint, you and the DAZN guys are trying to paint a picture that something was going on in that fight that just wasn't happening. This ain't the 1920s, dude. All right? Well, this ain't the 1930s where we listen to the fights on the radio. Like, we see what's going on in there. The fuck you talking about piling up points by landing on the gloves? The hell does that even mean? And then they were forced to say that the fight was close because during the fight, they showed according to their own punch stats, they showed it, Haney was only out landing Diaz by like 3 or 4 punches or something like that. And then they were forced to say, look, oh my God, the punch stats. Like, oh, I'm surprised to see that. Like, what do you mean you're surprised to see that? Bro, we see a lot of these shots are being blocked by Diaz. A lot of those punches to the body that they were giving Haney credit for were landing low. That's why you got multiple warnings for hitting low, and those aren't scoring shots. If they're landing in the area that's considered a low blow, it's not scoring. I'm sorry, it's just not. And it was just disgusting to hear this commentary. Like, JoJo will be landing these big shots on Haney, clean shots on Haney. And then the DAZN commentating team was like, oh, look at the volume of David Haney. Look at this and look at that from Haney. Like, trying to paint a picture of something that's just not happening, okay? Sorry. And look, Haney's a good fighter, good boxer, a lot of good things he can do. But this whole comparison to Mayweather and Pernell Whitaker, like, it's got to end. Come on, guys. We got to stop it now. He's not on those guys' level. He's just not. Okay, and I'm sorry if this hurts your feelings, but this is my opinion. He's just not on that level. And that's all right. It's okay that he's not. It's not the end of the world. He can still have a good career without being as good as those guys. But that talk's got to stop, man. That defense is Swiss cheese, man. And he's been getting Swiss cheesed up in his last couple of fights. He's been hurt both times in his last 2 fights. He's not hurting these guys either. Like, that's a concern of mine, like moving up in weight. Like, he's not hurting guys who are moving up in weight, like Gamboa and Diaz, right? These guys are coming from, like, featherweight. He's not even hurting these guys. And Haney's a natural lightweight. That's a concern of mine with his. A concern. It's very concerning. And look, the improvements aren't there. I'm not seeing improvements from Haney from fight to fight. I'm just not. You want to see a young kid who's improving from fight to fight? Look at Shakur Stevenson. People were predicting that Haney was going to do to Diaz what Shakur did to Herring. That's what I was hearing. And it was not even close to happening on Saturday night with Haney and Diaz. But you see the difference. That's what I'm talking about. A guy who was getting criticized for moving too much, not sitting down on his punches, not having power. He went in there and made a statement against Herring. That's what Haney was supposed to do against Diaz, according to a lot of these guys. But that didn't happen. It didn't happen. So look, that talk's got to stop. I'm sorry, it just does. Now, Tank Davis and Cruz, all right, this was a cherry pick gone wrong. Whether you like it or not. All right, and I already got guys crying on my channel, crying in the comment section because I posted that in my community. All right? But it is what it is, all right? Cruz was not supposed to go the distance. He was not. They picked him because he was small. They thought he was one-dimensional. They thought he was going to be easy work. Turns out it wasn't. And Tank lost that fight. I'm sorry, he lost it. I'm not going to say it could have went either way, like the Haney-Diaz fight. No, Tank lost. That was a clear loss to me. Once he couldn't hurt Cruz, he had nothing left to offer. Nothing. And Cruz kept applying that pressure, hitting him to the body hard, hitting him with hooks. I mean, he came out blasting Tank with hooks in the first round. Now look, Tank took him. He's got a chin. I feel like a lot of those hooks that landed on Tank would have knocked out a lot of lightweights. But he still was getting hit with those shots. And I felt he was losing rounds. Now, he came back mid-round, started to pick the pace back up, right? Started to land. He obviously had the faster hands, so he started landing. He's throwing these fast combinations and things like that. But, again, the commentary was trying to paint a picture that just wasn't happening. I was watching the Ray Flores, the PBC coverage, not the Showtime one, and he kept saying, all Tank has to do is land one big shot, and he's going to knock him out. And then he's like, oh, my God, look at these big punches from Tank. And then they show the replay in between the rounds, and like they're being deflected with the gloves, like not even landing clean. Like, these guys, again, this is not the 1930s, man. We're not listening to you guys on the radio. We see what the hell's going on, okay? We see it. And then Tank made an excuse about his hand, like, this fucking hand wasn't hurt. Come on, all right? You just had no plan B if you couldn't knock this kid out. That's what it was. He wasn't intimidated, and you couldn't hurt him. So what else did he have to offer, man? Nothing. He was getting outworked in there, man, by Cruz. And I felt Cruz deserved a win. He deserved that win last night. But we know what happened. I was telling everybody, like, they're not going to give this kid, if he goes the distance, they're not going to give him the decision. Hell no. But look, I'm sorry, but I was not impressed by any of these lightweights. Unimpressed. And again, like I said earlier, if you don't like it, you feel some kind of way, hit the road, man. I'm sorry, but you're gonna get real talk here, man. And look, if you disagree, that's fine. We can all disagree. That's fine at the end of the day. But don't get emotional about it. Start crying in the comment section, all right? We could agree to disagree and just move on. But if you're one of these fanboys that doesn't like because I'm saying something about your favorite fighter, then just hit the road, okay? Because I don't want you around. I'm sorry, I just don't. I want my community to be able to talk boxing, whether we agree or disagree, and not get weird about it, okay? That's what I want. So, anyways, I'm going to end this video, man. That's all I got to say. I'm not impressed with the lightweights. I'm not impressed at all, okay? And we'll see what Lomachenko does with Comey this Saturday. So, I'm out, guys.